Good morning. Thank you for joining us at Mystic Fitness this morning for a hot flow class with me. My name is Erin. I'm always happy to be here guiding you through your class. During today's class, you might want to have a block nearby. I always suggest having a block nearby. If you don't have blocks and you're at home, you could always just grab a small stool or a stack of books, or even if you're up near a windowsill or a wall, sometimes you can just use that as a prop too. So let yourself be creative and just use whatever you happen to have handy. Today's class will focus on flexibility in the spine and also strengthening the muscles that surround the spine so that we can continue to functionally move throughout our life with a nice, happy, healthy spine and strong core. We'll begin today's class in a seated position. If you're not comfortable seated or you've just had one of those kind of mornings and you need to take a rest on your mat and start lying down, I'm perfectly fine with that too. If you're not very comfortable seated but you'd like to give it a try, this is when you can use your block as a prop. Just kind of sit on the edge of it. And this will allow your knees to start to drop open a bit more, relax the hips, and you might be able to sit up taller. Take your time just to make your way into a space that feels right for you. And then we'll allow our eyes to gently close. We'll start by just taking some easy inhales and exhales through the nose. Just letting yourself arrive into the space. Forgetting about what already happened this morning and forgetting about any plans that you have for after class. Letting yourself really just be here in this present moment. As you breathe in, your belly will fill with air. And then you just simply release it. Starting off with some easy breaths to fill the belly and letting it go. As you continue here for a few more rounds, notice that you're sitting up nice and tall with the crown of the head reaching up towards the sky. But your shoulders have relaxed down and away from the ears. Even if you're laying down, take a moment to make sure that your shoulders aren't hunched up by the ears. Maybe just set them down a little bit further. As you feel ready, you'll start to lengthen your breath. We'll inhale into the belly, then let the breath rise on up through the ribs. And now as we exhale, we'll begin to slightly engage the pelvic floor and press the air out. Relax that effort as you breathe in. Belly gets big. Breath moves on up through the ribs. And then you'll just squeeze the pelvic floor gently to press the air out again. Continuing here, long inhales. And applying a subtle contraction of deep abdominal muscles on the exhale. So we practice ease on the in-breath and some power on the out-breath. Relax as you breathe in. Pelvic floor contracts, lower belly towards spine as you breathe out. Notice how that's providing support for the lower back. We'll get 4 more there. Last 3, already warming and toning abdominal muscles just here. We have 2 more. One more of these belly bonfire breaths. On this exhale, press out, pause at the end. Notice that. And then take a few easier breaths in and out through your nose. Noticing any subtle changes that have already started to happen for you. I instantly, once I do that breath, I notice a shift in my mindset and I feel very relaxed and in tune with the body. We'll now take our hands all the way up to the sky as we breathe and stretch them up. As you exhale, prayer hands come down to heart and you'll lift and engage the belly. You can do this even reclined, just stretching the arms long and back behind you and then drawing hands towards heart center. We'll get one final one here. This time as your hands settle down towards the heart, sit up nice and tall. Or if you are reclined, you can just place the hands over the heart, kind of holding yourself here. And we'll open up our class today by uniting our voices in the sound of Om. And we'll prepare with a single breath together. Let's take it in and let it go. Inhaling for Om. Have an amazing class, everybody. We'll open our eyes here. If you're not already seated, take a moment to make your way there. We'll begin with some gentle twists to start to get the spine nice and happy. Let's inhale the arms all the way up overhead. As you exhale, we'll open and spin to the right and just reach your arms nice and long. Inhale, both arms sweep up as you come to center. Exhale, twist to the left. We'll continue to move at a pace that feels right for you, following your breath. Inhale, really sweep up. Exhale, twist. On every exhale here, drawing lower belly in and up at least slightly. We'll get a few more. One more dynamic one each way. Last one. The breath sounds so good in the room this morning. This time as we come up and over to the right, we'll gently pause there, bringing your left hand over towards the right knee. Other hand tented behind you on the floor. Sitting up nice and tall, but making sure you can breathe freely in your twist. One more breath in and out. Good. Let's come through center on the in-breath. Exhale up and over to the other side. Left hand tense behind you. Right hand compressed to the opposite thigh. 2 breaths. And one more. Beautiful. Let's inhale and spin up through middle. Exhale, hands to heart center. Lower belly draws in and up. Let's come into tabletop to continue to warm the spine. Coming onto hands and knees. And if you're someone with less flexible wrists, feel free to bring your hands a little bit more forward than your shoulders. Even if you are able to bring them underneath you, this can really get the core awake because it's a little bit more difficult for core muscles as we continue to go. Let's inhale here and find our cow. Look up. Exhale, curl it forward. This is your cat. Inhale, we'll arch. Exhale, big curled shin tucks in. So feel free to add in your own little nuances here. Letting elbows maybe bend, hips might move a little forward and back. Just getting nice and warm and in tune with how your body is feeling this morning. We'll get last 2 here. And curling, pressing finger pads to the floor. Last one. And curl. Let's inhale here to neutral and then exhale, press back towards the child's, but keep your legs where they are. We'll continue to move here through some flows. Let's inhale through cat, but then begin to extend forward toward a modified plank, keeping the belly nice and firm to protect the back. Exhale, just take it on back to child's. We'll do that twice again. Inhale through cat and then extend forward, modified plank. And exhale, hips press back. We have just one more that way before we add on. Come on forward. And then lift low belly to come on back. And we'll begin to get a little deeper into this. Let's inhale the same way, but this time as you exhale, lower slowly down to earth. Tuck chin, inhale for cobra, back strength gets you there. Exhale up and back, you got it. Let's get 2 more. Inhale forward. Exhale, use the triceps to slowly lower. Tuck chin, inhale. Exhale, take it on back. We have just 1 more that way. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, slowly low down. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, take it back. This time as we find child's, we'll take the knees wider if it feels okay. If not, you can keep them where they were or even bring them together for the most support in your child's pose. We'll take a few breaths. One more here. And then to add a side bend in, we'll start to walk the arms over to the right a little bit, reaching a little bit more through the left arm, and really grip your left fingertips into the floor to get a little extra traction, opening up left side ribs. Another breath in and out. One more side bend breath here. Good. On your inhale, walk long through center, over to the other side. Reaching a little longer through the right hand, pulling your fingertips into the ground. Big breaths in and out. 2 more here. And 1 more. All right, let's come back towards child's with hands down the middle and just settle for a moment. Let your forehead rest to the floor, or if it doesn't reach, you can bring your arms folded up underneath your head. Feel free to come back to child's pose or any other restful position at any time during your class. Also feel free to add in an extra push-up or something like that along the way if that feels right for you today. Really make this practice for you. Let's begin to come up onto hands and knees now on the in-breath. Curl your toes underneath you and actively lift that low belly up as we just take the knees up off the floor. So now the core is really saying good morning to us. We want to really squeeze it in. Press all fingers into the floor firmly. Start to send the hips back, lengthening through arms and spine. And then from here, very slowly begin to lift the hips up towards down dog, pedaling out the feet to warm it up nice and slowly. Feel free to play around here. If you're more flexible through the back chain of the body, your hands might walk slightly forward. But if you're less flexible in your back and hamstrings, then you'll have a shorter downward facing dog. Hands are at least shoulders width apart, maybe slightly wider. Same go for feet, hips width or slightly wider. We're pedaling the feet here maybe to the tune of your own beautiful breath. And we'll start to find a nice still dog with bent knees, lengthen through the spine first, still keeping the hamstrings pretty soft here. Explore 3-leg dog on the right. Right leg stretches up to the sky. You can move your ankle about. Maybe you bend your knee and open up the hip. Just do whatever feels good for a moment. I like to bend and extend the leg usually. Then we'll take that foot down and we'll try the other side. So inhale, left leg, big stretch, really pressing the fingers into the floor here, making sure that each hand is taking even weight. Moving ankle or knee, whatever feels right for you, just to kind of wake that leg up. Then eventually stretch it up and back again if it's bent and take it back to downward facing dog. Making our way to the top of the mat now. Bend your knees, look forward so you know where you're going. And exhale, walk your way there. Inhale, halfway, engage your belly. We're strong here. And then exhale, fold it down nice and soft. Maybe you shake your head and let any worries you have just speckle out into the ground and just be absorbed by the earth.
If it feels nice to bring any other movement, such as swaying side to side or walking hands side to side, go ahead and do what feels good for you. If this is too deep for you, feel free to take this lovely modification with really bent knees, forearms on the thighs, keeping the spine lengthened, but there's a nice support here. And some days this just might feel better, even if you can come forward more. So don't do what you think you need to do. Do what really feels right in any given moment. We'll take 2 more breaths here. And one last one. Good. Let's get ready to rise. So we'll begin by just bending knees and think about the inner arches of the feet. I want you to try to press through inner arches as we come up. We'll take an in-breath and roll your way up, pressing through the inner arches and inner thighs. Let that energy rise up through the body as you stand up, nice and tall here. And then exhale, hands come to heart center. Can you fix that for me? Let's take our first flow together. Inhale, arms stretch up nice and tall. As you exhale, knees bend, bow down. Super soft for spine there. Inhale, halfway, hands onto shins. As we exhale, we'll take the hands to the floor, walk back to downward facing dog. From here, we'll add a waved plank into our flow, which will not only strengthen your deepest core muscles, transverse abdominals, but it'll also help decompress low spine. To try it, we'll bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, lift the hips, try to wave from the low spine all the way up to the top spine. Inhale in your strong plank. Exhale, drop the knees, and then your whole self slowly down. Tuck chin, inhale, lift to cobra, elbows squeeze in. Exhale, press it up and back, downward facing dog. Taking a deep breath and letting it out. 2 more. 1 more breath. Maybe knees are bent to get lengthened spine. We'll try it 1 more time from the top. Bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, we'll walk the feet to the hands. Inhale halfway, hands come onto shins. Exhale, soften and fold. As we rise, press to inner arches, knees are bent. As we roll up, take that energy and offer it up. Exhale, hands heart center, and let's get our second round. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, pour yourself down, totally soft. Inhale, strong halfway. Exhale, plant hands, walk, or you could take a little jog to down dog if you're feeling frisky. Let's roll our plank. Bend your knees and look forward. Exhale, roll it forward. Inhale and plank. Exhale, knees drop and your whole body down. Inhale, roll the cobra. Exhale, low belly helps you come up and back to downward facing dog. Let's take our right leg to the sky here. Inhale it all the way up. As you exhale, knee comes into the nose. Shift forward and pick the hips up again. Tiger curl. Let's inhale it up to the sky again. Exhale for a tiger curl. Pause. And then try to step to the right hand. If it didn't make it, just grab your ankle and lovingly coax it forward. We'll come into our runner's twist to begin with. If you have a block, bring it onto your left hand to bring the floor up a little higher. And we'll take our right arm up to the sky. So we're going to gently warm this up. Take an in-breath to get ready. As you exhale, hand reaches for the back leg and the back knee dips. Inhale the arm up and around. Exhale, take it down. So we're in our runner's twist, but getting some lubrication for shoulder joint, opening up all the rib cage, especially on that right side. Hip flexor on the left leg is warming up as we dip the back knee. And then we'll get one more like this. And then let's find our first twist on the legs. Really press actively through the back heel now. Try not to dump into the hand that's on the blocks. You kind of even want to actively press up and away from it. Take 1 more breath.
Now we'll make our way to a crescent lunge. As you inhale, come forward, lift your way up. Back knee can dip down a little bit to get deeper into the left hip flexor if that feels good for you. Couple of freedom lunges here, arms forward. These are challenging, so maybe you take baby once. We'll inhale the arms open with a long back leg. Exhale, give yourself a hug and tuck the back knee down. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, hug yourself and dip. And yeah, you might tremble, right? That's okay. Inhale, open. I'm trembling too. One more. And give yourself that beautiful hug. Let's come back to crescent lunge. We're going to add a side bend here. So right leg is forward, right hand onto your hip. Inhale, lengthen up, and then as you exhale, left arm reaches up and over to the right. Just getting a nice stretch for the side here. Couple of breaths. Guys, look great. If possible, back heel stays up so you free that hip. On the next breath in, arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to the front foot. I'll just step it back to down dog. Now check in with both legs. My left leg feels a lot different than my right. I'm going to see if we can even that out. Inhale the left leg sky high here. Exhale, let's get that core work in, a little tiger curl. Pick the hips up, try to round. Inhale, take it all the way up again. Exhale, curl it forward, pause, press fingers to the floor. Then step to the left hand or you give it a loving coax. Block comes under the right hand now as we open up and twist to the left, runner's lunge twist. Block has many heights. Pick the one that feels best today. Prepare with an in-breath. Exhale, hand circles back, back knee dips. Inhale it up and around. Let your elbow be bendy, particularly as it comes over the head. Get a couple more here. So it's not any right or wrong movement here. Just really be in tune with what feels good. And then we'll make our way to twist. So let that action open you up into your best twist. Now we're really pressing away from the block or the floor, reaching for the stars. Two more. One more here. Inhale to high lunge or crescent lunge. Sweep your body to face forward. Back knee is still lifted up. Take a moment. Freedom lunges here, just a few. Arms forward. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, curl, working that spinal flexibility. Inhale. Exhale. Two more freedom lunges. You guys look amazing in the studio today. One more. Come back to crescent. Lift your arms. Shoulders roll down and away. Finding our side bend to the other side. Left hand to left hip. Inhale, right arm up a little. Chest stays open. Exhale, up and over. Breathe. Last two. Got it. One more. Inhale, arms up, up, up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Stepping on back. Downward facing dog. Big inhale. And exhale. Two more. One more breath. So our spine is feeling pretty flexible now, and we're going to strengthen it a bit in a forearm plank. We'll wave a plank to get there just so we can practice again. So look forward on the in-breath and bend the knees. Exhale, try to pick it up and roll. It takes time to learn. No big deal if it didn't work. And then you can take yourself down to the forearms. Now maybe drop the knees first to make it a little easier or not. Arms can stay parallel with the hands spread wide. Or if it's easier for you today to take your hands underneath and interlace, and that's what you need to do, you'll do that instead. Either with knees up or down, you want to squeeze the glutes. If you have your fingertips on the floor, squeeze fingertips into the floor. The tighter you can make your body here, the lighter it will be, but you want to find a balance of ease and effort. So don't over squeeze either, right? So we just practice finding that perfect midpoint. We take another breath. You won't be here forever, I promise. Very last one. Good, let's practice some ease. Drop the knees. Child's pose. Spread them wide for more hip opening, or bring them together and just curl down for support for the lower back. So maybe your back is feeling a little tired and it would like to rest in a more supported position. Feel free to do whichever one feels better. Arms can reach for your feet, which is more restful for shoulders, or you can reach them forward for a little more stretch. Last 2 breaths wherever you are. And one more. Good. Now we're coming back up. If you need a little extra rest, you can just pop back up when you're ready. But if you're ready to come with me, let's come onto hands and knees, curl the toes under, and send the hips up and back again, downward facing dog. Mindfully exploring out that dog, noticing hopefully that it feels a little more lengthy by now. If not, no worries. We've still got a little while to go here. We're going to take the right leg back to the sky, sweep it high. Exhale, knee into the nose, just one. Pause it there, and then step to the right hand. This time we're coming into warrior one. So the back heel will now ground down. Feet are on train tracks. Inhale, lift your way up. Hips and shoulders want to face forward here. Always keeping the front spine nice and active to protect the lower back. We're going to humble this one. So we'll take the arms out to the side. Interlace them behind. If you can't reach, maybe grab something you have, a sweatshirt, a belt, a sock, whatever. Inhale, open up the heart, shoulders roll down the back. And then as you exhale, you begin to bow forward. Now maybe you come here. Some of you might be able to come more deeply forward. The deeper you go, the more hip opening you'll achieve here, but you don't want to overdo it, right? So we just meet our body where it is today. Trembling's good, right? Stabilize our muscles we didn't know we had, or saying good morning to us maybe. I feel one of my ankles saying hello. It's not painful, it's just waving at me. One more. Good. Let's take our hands down to the front foot now. And we're finding Parsvattanasana. So to get there, we need to drag the back leg forward, maybe a foot or so. Back heel stays down, but the toes will maybe point a little bit more forward, not quite at such an angle. Blocks are very useful here, so if you have them, maybe you bring them under your hands. Keep a slight bend in the front knee, but it's straight-ish. And then begin to fall back forward. So this is a nice stretch for the hamstring on that side. I'm going to try to press both hips back. Last few breaths. And one more here. Good. We'll come out now. Let's inhale. Wave the spine long. Fingertips to the floor. Pick up the back heel. Kind of wiggle your foot back and bend your knee. So now you're back in your lunge. We'll just step it on back. Downward facing dog. We'll try the other side here. Left leg. Sky high. Stretch it up. Exhale, knee into the nose. Hips pick up, core strength. We've got it. Step to the foot. Back foot might hop over a little bit, so you're on train tracks here, hips width apart, feet. And then use front spine to help you rise up. Arms reach up. Whenever you're transitioning up from the floor, try to engage the belly so we don't hurt low back. Arms out to the side, interlace behind. Shoulders roll down. Inhale, puff up your proud chest. Exhale, begin to bow forward, tucking, folding into yourself.
Coming to a place maybe that's a little bit challenging for you, but always being kind. Last few here. One more round, you got it. Nice. Let's drop the hands to the front foot. Inhale, wave the spine long, and then step the back foot forward a little bit. Find your perfect place for your foot. Front knee is going to bend a bit. If you have the blocks, you might bring them underneath you as you lengthen a bit. And then as you exhale, we can begin to fold more deeply, getting into left hamstring. Try to press your fingers forward as if you're trying to press the front of your mat away, and that'll help take the hips back a little bit more there. Front knee bends more if it's too intense. You don't want to feel pulling at the attachment of the hamstring. Try to get the stretch throughout the leg. We'll come out now. Inhale, wave your spine long, fingertips to the block, or to the floor rather. Wiggle the right foot back here. So we're back in lunge. Plant the hands. Take it back, downward facing dog. We're going to get one more waved plank here. Look forward, knees bend in breath. Exhale, wave it through. Inhale, nice and strong. Exhale, drop the knees, lower slowly down. Inhale, tuck chin, cobra rolls it up. Exhale, press it up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath. Let it go. One more. We'll come forward. Inhale, look where you're going, knees bend. Exhale, walk your feet to the hands. Inhale, halfway nice and strong. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, rise all the way up.
And exhale, hands come to heart center. We'll pause here just to be. Gentle breath. Eyes might close for a moment. Really connect to the ground. One more here. Beautiful. We'll start some balance. We need to open our eyes probably so we don't fall over. Walking up towards the top of the mat. If you are not already there, press your palms together. Use this pressing action to help you squeeze and firm the belly. More awareness in your right leg as we begin to lift the left knee up. We're going to stay right here. From here, you can keep your hands where they are and maybe reach them up. Anytime you lift your arms up overhead, core says good morning. So maybe we add this in. We're going to slowly step this foot to the back of the mat. So just make your way, standing knee bends. Take it back. Maybe you pause in a bit of an airplane and let your heart soar. And then eventually the foot lands, heel stays up, arms can stretch up. Take your time, explore that airplane as long as you like. And then we'll find our first side-facing posture to open the hips, warrior two. Front knee should be right over the ankle or a little bit backed off. Spread your arms wide here and gaze for the right thumb. Just to warm up the hips in this way, we're going to dance these warriors. It's also fun for balance. Let's inhale the arms up, pivot on your heel, right toes feet alongside of the mirror, of the mat rather, and then bend the left knee. I looked in the mirror when I said that. Inhale, come back to the middle. Exhale, let's dance back to right side. Continue to dance. If you want to make it a little harder, you can watch your hands. Moving your dristi up towards the sky as you move. We'll turn those stabilizer muscles on more. One more each way. Notice the hips getting a little more open each time. We'll come back to the right side and we will just luxuriate on this side. Press into the back foot. Outer edge wants to ground down. Both feet are holding your weight equally. Maybe you check in with shoulders, make sure they're not crunched up. Actively draw them down with a strong upper back. Last breath. Let's reverse. Flip the right hand. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, right to extended side angle. Right arm on the floor on the leg. We're going to add a little stretch here for the ribs. So we'll take the top hand, sweep it a little forward. This will help the palm face back when you then circle it towards your ear. So if the palm is back, you'll feel a little bit more opening up here through the ribs. Not quite so pinchy if it was facing the other way. It helps you retract the shoulder down. If you want extra core strength here, you can always lift the bottom arm up. Not required, certainly, but we're not only stretching the core, we're going to strengthen it a little bit today. Last one. You guys are amazing. Let's come out. Inhale, sweep back to reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel hands down to the ground, step it back, down dog. One breath. Let it go. Really let it go. Let's come back to the top here. Look forward, knees bend. Exhale, walk it forward. Laughing is always the best medicine, right? I love to add some of that in here. Let's inhale, halfway belly strong. Exhale, soften and you release. Let's come nice and tall. Inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. Lower belly draws in to meet it. How strong are we? Coming back to the top of the mat. If you're not there, press hands together. Cinch and engage. Here we go. Left side, right knee lifts. We always have our good side, right? Yes. And it changes for me. This is usually my good leg. Today it's a little challenging, but I'm just noticing, right? I'm not judging myself here. Arms up, although sometimes I do. None of us are perfect. Right? Let's start to step back slowly, luxuriating in a little bit of this balance and saying, ta-da, I made it. And then we land. And some days I don't make it, but I still give myself a ta-da because I tried. Warrior two, back heel drops. And we open up to face the other side. We're going to have a little fun and dance again here. So inhale, arms up, pivot the left toes to the long edge. Exhale, warrior two right. Let's continue to move. Your breath helps you flow. Maybe you add a little flair with the arms, right? So let this feel lovely for you. Every time the arms reach up, lift, low belly, get really big, and then back to warrior two right. We're going to land on the left side. Whenever you get there, you get there. Feet are in one line. Press to the outer edge of the back foot. Still squeezing and lifting. One more. Flip left hand. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extended side angle. Reach forward. We're going to reach up first, and then to help free the shoulder, you're going to take the right arm, sweep it forward, then up by your ear, and that'll help you internally rotate and take the shoulder down the back a bit. Staying here, or if you want to test your core strength on this side, you can take the left arm off your thigh and reach it forward. Test your feet strength too, and your legs, right? Both feet actively press. One more. Good. Inhale, up and out. Exhale, cartwheel hands to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. Big breath in and out. One more. Let's just drop to the knees for a moment. And just sit back on your heels. This is a nice time to grab a little drink break, especially if you're in this gorgeous tropical studio. Or anything else, you could always just take a quick child pose. Wherever you are, once you've taken care of any physical needs, such as taking a water or whatever else it is, take a moment just to close your eyes. Notice how you're feeling. Breathing long and slow. And one more here. All right, so we're almost done with our standing series. We have one more little section to get through. So let's just take ourselves up, downward facing dog. Stretch it back. Take your time. And we're going to walk the feet to the hands once again. So look where you're going. Inhale, knees will bend to help you. Exhale, begin to step forward. We'll inhale for our half lift. Exhale, fold. And we'll inhale and rise all the way. And hands find the heart. So we're going to come into some balancing here next. We'll begin by standing up super duper tall. And we'll balance on the right leg first, always zipping the belly. We'll take hands to prayer. Lift your left knee up just like we did before. This time we'll grab a hold of the shin with the left hand. Right hand onto the hip. Press into your standing leg a little more, see if you can get a little taller. From here, we'll open the knee out and the arm out to the side. Balance is very challenging for me, so it's all I can do to stay here, but if it's easier for you to make it more challenging, you could bring your drishti to face over to the right. That's your gaze. One more breath. Good. Let's bring the knee forward, hands to hips. Kick it forward. Whoa. Take it down. I would have stayed up a little longer. Didn't happen for me today. If you did, good for you. It's not easy. We've arrived. One breath. Let's see how the other side is. Purely scientific, right? Hands draw together and press. Belly nice and strong. Bringing more weight into the left leg now. Right knee lifts. Better or worse, who knows? It's just to notice. Hand onto the shin. Pressing your shin actively into your hand and hand into the shin there to help find that same lock we created with the palms. We open the left arm out to help counterbalance the right leg coming right. Nisa's got a great shift of her drishti to her left hand behind me. So that's a nice little visual on that. We're going to bring our way back forward now. Knee, gaze forward, hands to hips. Last hurrah. Kick the heel forward. And take it down. Let's just give ourselves a little love. Rotate. Knees bend. You can get full circles there. If you prefer to kind of just windshield wiper the arms, you can do this. We're just getting out of our head whether that went well for you or not so great today. It's really all good. It's just practice, nothing more than that. And now we're going to find our final balance before we come down to the ground. This is dancer. It's going to open up the spine quite a bit. If it's difficult, I'd like you to just stay in the quad stretch. So we'll start there. We're going to come onto balance onto the right leg. Arms will stretch up on an in-breath. Reach up, shoulders retract down the back, lower belly's turned on here. More weight in the right leg. You'll bend your left hand and left knee. Grab your foot with an inside grip, or if that's not working out, outside grip is cool too. Now this is a lot on its own. You could just stay here, get a lovely stretch for the quad, or you can begin to kick your foot into your hand. Show you from the side. I probably won't do any better, but that's okay. And we'll kick it back. Arm will reach forward as the foot kicks back. So we don't reach the arm forward, it just kind of goes there as the foot kicks back. Another breath. Maybe you got one more. If not, you come on down. Thought I did. Didn't work out though. Come on down. Nice. All right. One last standing pose to go. Gather your strength, gather your serenity. Let's take them both with us to dance. Inhale, arms up. We bring more awareness to left leg, right arm down. Begin to bend the right knee, catch your foot. And maybe you just stay here. Quad stretches are beautiful things. Or maybe bending the standing leg a bit to help you. You'll then start to kick the right foot into your hand and just see where you go. Last few breaths. One or two more. Last one. And we'll very gently make it back to mountain. Beautiful. All right. Hands come down alongside you, mountain pose, shoulders roll down, palms forward. Allow your eyes to close. Feel the energy radiating out of you and feel the energy coming in. One more breath. Let's make our way to the floor here. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, bow all the way down. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, hands down. Walk your way back, downward facing dog. Take a breath. Let's come to high plank. You can roll or not. I'm going to get one last roll in for myself there. My lower back says thank you. Last forearm plank. Maybe you drop the knees to get there or not. Elbows down, forearms down. Knees stay down or they lift. Just a few breaths more. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Good. Let's find Sphinx. So we'll drop the knees and the tops of the feet, hips to the floor. If you had your hands underneath you interlaced, you're going to separate them. So now your arms are parallel to the edges of your mat. With the fingers wide and gripping, pull yourself a little forward. Pull your cute little head up and out of the shoulders. Lower belly is squeezed just enough so we're not hurting low back. Maybe a little strengthening there. So it's an active stretch, but find some ease in it too. Not overly active. Last 2. 1 more. We're going to make our way to a quadricep laying down, quadricep stretch laying down. So you can keep yourself propped up on one elbow, maybe take it across, or you could lay down, whatever feels better. Bend either leg. I went left first, just so you could see better, but it doesn't really matter. You want to flex your ankle maybe and start to pull the heel in towards your glute. Now you could take this on your side if that felt more comfortable for you. Just continue to stay there. Last few breaths here. And one more. We release that and we'll just switch our sides. So you can get a little chest stretch by propping yourself up and staying here. Or you can take it a little more gently and just lay it on down. Opting to come onto your side if this doesn't work for you. If you're at home, you can't quite reach, straps are great. You can always use a belt. And really anything you have handy. I've used all kinds of things. Dog leashes, sweatshirts, they all work. You can even pull your knee a little bit off the floor if you want to get a little extra stretch in. Last breath here. Good. Let's just let that come on down. One strengthening move here. Take your arms straight out to the side like that airplane. Tops of the feet on the floor. Before I begin, I like to curl my toes under and then use that to inch my legs a little bit more out of the hip, just a little bit longer, if there's any longer to go. And then when you breathe in, we'll prepare. And as you exhale, lift your chest, arms, maybe legs. If this is bothering your lower back, you can take the feet down and back off quite a bit. Wide open fingers, wide open toes. You could always take this much gentler in a cobra pose with your hands grounded. So let yourself do what you need. Last breath in. And we'll exhale. Just take it down. Make a pillow for your forehead by interlacing or wrapping your arms one on top of each other here. We'll bend the knees and just kind of swish the feet a bit, side to side, releasing any tension in the lower back. We're going to make our way over onto our back. Speaking of the back here, so just press yourself up. Use your strong belly and flip on over. Once you get there, we'll let the knees come onto the chest. Well, they don't really reach, do they? But the thighs might reach. They just come as close as they can. You can either hold on to your shins and just press down a bit and rock side to side as you allow yourself to be very soft. Or even wrapping arms around your shins and giving yourself a self-hug here. Finding any gentle movement that feels right. And just one more breath. Come into a fun core strengthener here, and it's called a tabletop press. I know I have a strange idea of fun. I've been told that before. Let's take the knees over the hips, and you're going to take your feet up off the floor. So your shins are like parallel to the floor-ish here. And we're going to take our hands onto the thighs. I'd like you to curl your tailbone towards you. Activate deepest core muscles. And here we're going to press the hands into the thighs and the thighs into the hands. So, of course, it's easy to not do this, right? But trust me, give it a try. I have never trembled so much as when I do this particular exercise. No matter how hard a million crunches look, this is a lot stronger. We're going to take one more breath. Woo! I could tell you were working hard there. Knees into the chest. Rock a little side to side and just absorb all of that. Yeah. What do you say we do one more? Here we go. Knees stack over the hips. Hands to the thighs. Begin to curl the tailbone towards you, pressing low back to the floor. And press. Here we go. Breathe like you mean it. You got it. Keep going. 2 more breaths. I know. Last one. Woo. Take the knees in. Hug it out. Woo. Now, if that wasn't fun enough, we're going to do one more thing. This is a dead bug. So what you'll do, I hate that name. I got to come up with something. This is a bug getting ready to right itself. All right, so I'm going to go with that name instead. Knees right over the hips again. We're going to reach the arms up. And just like you're a little bug on its back trying to do what it can to take itself to upright, you're going to extend your right leg long and take the left leg back. Now you want to make sure the left knee didn't move. That's kind of the hard part. And then bring it back to where you started. And then very slowly, left leg lengthens, right arm comes back to wherever it can come, and then come back. And we'll just get a few more side to side. Inhale as you get long, and exhale as you come back to where you started. Now this one adds up. It takes a little longer to add up than that tabletop press, but it's a great strengthener for your entire entire core, the front, the back, the deep transverse abdominals. We'll get one more each way here. So I've got to lengthen right leg and come back. You want to make sure you end with the left leg reaching and back. And now our core work is done. Give yourself a hug of congratulations. Rock a little bit here. Let's just stir the knees and hips about. Take your hands onto your knees. Press them away. Circle them open and back inward. Giving yourself a little love. We'll start to stir the knees in the opposite direction whenever your body wants to. And if it wants to go the other way, then you do. We'll get our bridge pose now. Help stretch out the abs. And again, flexible spine. Great strengthener for the backside body as well. Hands alongside you, feet right under the knees. We'll take an in-breath to prepare, and as you exhale, just like we did in tabletop, we begin to curl the tailbone toward us first, then press and lift your way up till you're up on your upper back, backs of the shoulders. You could walk the shoulders a little closer towards each other so that you're resting on a meatier part of your body. No need to yank the shoulders away from your neck. I'd actually prefer you kept them up there so you had a little padding underneath your neck. We're working hard in the back side of the body. Glutes are firing up, hamstrings are firing up. But try to find some ease in the front side, opening the front hips. One more inhale. And exhale. Good. On your in-breath, press up a little higher. Shoulders walk out if they're under you. And then exhale down, one vertebra at a time. I love to add spinal traction in here. So take your hands to the tops of your thighs. And then taking kind of the thumbs pointing in towards inner thighs and your other fingers around to the outside. Just start to press away gently right into the creases of your hip. You should feel a nice space start to happen at your lower back. If the vertebra is a little sticky there, you might not feel it right away. It might take some practice. Continue to breathe long and slow here. One more breath in. And out. Good. Let's take the feet a little wider, and you can take your hands to the floor. Just toe heel them out so you feel half mat and half floor. We're just going to let the knees come to the right side. Inhale to center, and then the knees come to the left. We're just gently windshield wipering out the legs here. Nice little stretch for lower back, down into the hip there as well. Eyes are closed. The next time your knees land to the right side, just let them land there. And our feet are still wide apart, so I have one at the edge of my mat. My left foot is actually all the way off my mat. You play around with the exact spot that feels good for you. This is plenty stretch for me, but if you would like a deeper sensation of stretch in your lower back and into the hip, you can pick up your right ankle and place it on the left knee. Some days this feels really good to me. It's not so pretty good today, but I actually just prefer it without today, so you feel free to try it. But you never have to stay in an uncomfortable place. There's nobody to please but yourself. So that's who I want you to focus on here. This is your time. That's 2 breaths. And one more.
All right, if you did put your ankle on your knee, slide it off. And we'll lift the knees back up to the ceiling. I need to kind of rearrange myself back into the center of my mat, so I just allowed my spine to wiggle there. And now I'll take the knees and let them land to the left. I'm going to check this side because both sides are different. So I'll pick the left foot up, place it on the right knee. Stretch your arms out, shoulders stay down. Feels pretty good on this side. I might stay, or I might go. I don't decide. I let my body tell me. Very often, the things that hold us back from progressing or trying something is just your mindset. So try to release what happened in the past or what somebody else told you you could or couldn't do, and really work from an authentic place within and maybe give things a try. Doesn't mean you have to stay there. It's all good. It's our last breath here. And if your ankle is on your knee, gently slide it off. Maybe find a few windshield wipers side to side, or if it feels better to hug the knees in, just let yourself intuitively go to where your body is asking you to go. Maybe it wants both. We'll get one more thing in here, taking the feet down to the floor, finding our figure four stretch. Right foot will cross over on top of the left leg. There are lots of different ways to do this pose. This is another one where I like to add spinal traction in. Helps to release any lower back tension. Another way to get a little deeper here without going too deep is to slide a block under your left foot and actively press your foot into the block. Stay for another moment wherever you are. And then choose to stay where you are, or maybe come with me here. Interlacing fingers underneath the left thigh. We're going to straighten the left leg today. So this is a little different than we normally do. And I'm actively pressing my straight left leg into my hands and pulling my hands into the thigh. Also pull both hips down into the floor. Nice stretch here for the back of the leg. I'm not yanking the legs towards me and hurting low back. I'm actively pressing the leg into my hand. You can then kind of bend and extend that leg, see how that feels for you. If you decide this isn't doing much for me, I actually really love this one. But if you prefer to bend your left knee and pull your legs a little bit in, that's fine too. Exploring what feels right. Getting to know yourself on all levels. You can also push the right leg a little more open. One more breath only. Good. We'll come on out. So if you lifted the leg up, you can bend your left knee, place your foot down, and uncross the right ankle. Switching sides, left ankle crosses over right. Maybe we go through the full progression, starting with the spinal traction if you like it. I really, really do. Can you tell? Either finding the variation that you like working on today, or you can come with me, interlacing fingers under the right leg, lifting the right foot up off the floor, stretching the legs actively straight, pressing the left hip open a little bit just with the strength of left thigh. You can rotate ankle, bend and extend the right leg. Just noticing what happens, exploring, and then deciding to stay either with the legs straight and pressed up, up, up,
Or if you'd like, you can bend that knee now and start taking the legs a little closer in towards you. You want to make sure you haven't yanked your head up off the floor or the tailbone off the floor. Try to keep the spine softly down. We're on our last 2 breaths, so take them where you like. One more. If the right leg is straight, bend your knee, place your foot on the floor, left leg comes off, and find your reclined bound angle. Let the soles of the feet touch now. Knees drop out to the side. Whenever I first arrive here, I generally take my hands again to tops of thighs, maybe pressing away just a touch. You can allow the knees to rock gently side to side. At some point, maybe finding some stillness here with your hands rest alongside you. We start to lower the lights here for the yogis that are with us as we're now on our back and coming closer towards our shavasana. So hope you can still see us okay out there. Letting your breath come and go. Leave your hands alongside your body. Or maybe you reach them back behind you. You can even grab onto opposite elbows, a little bit of ragdoll arms here up above the head. If that's not feeling good, again, we just back right off. Two breaths more. And one more. Let's find an inversion here. If you have a block, go ahead and find it. If you're at home and you don't have a block, this is a nice time to sub in a cushion or a rolled up blanket or towel. You'll lift yourself up here, lifting the hips, feet on the ground, and then place yourself on the block. And just the low height is perfect. If you don't have anything, you can do this without the block. That's okay too. Now we'll lift our feet up to the sky. So all we're doing here is finding a place where the legs can hover without effort. To aid the inversion along, kind of wiggle the blood down a little quicker from the legs. You can give them a little kick or a wiggle out. I like doing that. Eventually, we will find just some ease here. So the reason we have our hips propped up is not only to release the knee pressure on the spine and hope to add a little curve into the spine, but it's to bring ourselves in a diagonal position so that the blood can flow down the legs, across the pelvis and belly, and back down towards the heart center. Letting the heart rest a bit. We'll be here for 4 breaths more. Three more. Last 2. One more full breath in and out. And find a wind removing pose here, keeping the block where it is if you have it there. We'll take the right knee into the chest. Interlace your fingers on the shin and then stretch the left leg down the mat. Now we're trying to get the left heel towards the floor if you can.
Actively stretching, keeping a little curve in the spine. Right knee draws in as much as you can. You might take it around the rib cage first and then back into center if you find that helpful. Last one here. And we'll take the right foot down to the floor. Switch the sides. Left knee draws in. Interlace fingers on the shin. And then begin to stretch the right leg out, flexing ankle joint, pulling left knee all the way in and up there. Big breaths. Last one or two. Final round here. I like to finish up with full body stretch. Both arms back, stretch both legs long, block still under you if you have it. Simply relax the body, finding the support of the block. One more breath here. Final one. We'll make our way into Shavasana now. If the block's still there, hands come alongside. Bend your knees just so you can get the feet to the floor to lift yourself gently off. Arrange yourself long down your mat. Palms face open. Shoulders inch their way down and away from your ears. We try to arrange ourselves evenly, both legs evenly lengthened down if possible. Same with shoulders, try to set them down evenly down and away. If you notice any tenderness in your lower back here, bend your knees either just enough to prop up a bolster or a couch cushion or something underneath. Or if you don't have anything handy, you can bring your feet onto the floor and let your knees just gently knock in towards each other. That's a very beautiful resting position for low spine. Wherever you are, there is nothing left to do here, but let your body, your mind, your heart and soul absorb all of the benefits of your practice today. If you're noticing your mind is very active, you can come back to some pranayama, long intentional breaths, keeping your focus on the breath. Over time and with practice, you'll be able to drop into your Shavasana more easily and quickly. And you may notice that the easier the active portion of the practice is for you, the harder the passive part of the practice may be. And vice versa too. We all have strengths. We all have things to work on. And here we simply notice and be. We'll just be here for a little while longer. Noticing the thoughts or sensations that you feel or see, and then disengage from them. Last few moments.
I invite you to stay reclined for the remainder of class, even through our final Om, so that you can remain soft here. But as always, I also invite you to do what feels right for you in the moment. So if it feels better for you to sit up and close there, if that's something that you want for yourself, then you can start to gently reawaken, maybe by taking knees gently in and rocking a bit. But please don't feel this is necessary. If you are making your way to a seat, please do so gently. Otherwise, just take your right hand and place it over your heart center, and we'll do the same if you're seated. Left hand will place over on top of the right. Feel the beat of the heart. Really feel it. With your eyes softly closed, connect to that space, honoring what is there, not being afraid to show it to the world. We will close our class the way we began it, with the sound of Om. One breath to prepare. Take it in. Release it away. And inhaling for your Om here. We'll now take our hands to prayer, taking our thumb knuckles up to third eye center, our place of wisdom. I would like to thank you all so much for joining me today. It is always an honor and a pleasure to be able to serve you and lead you through your practice. The love, the light within me recognizes and deeply honors the unique love and light within all of you. Let us now bow to each other if you're seated, otherwise staying as you are as we close with namaste. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you have a great day. Thanks again.